Well, good morning and welcome back to Skyrim. And Stryko wandering around the noisy marketplace, wandering around Whiterun for the first time. He had an okay night's sleep, I guess. It's a bit noisy in the Bannered Mare, but I thought I'd wander around town. And of course, he's got to find the Temple of Kinnereth, most importantly. But let's have a quick wander around the market first. Oh my god, the noise! Stop talking to me, people. What have we got here? So we have a basic food merchant. We have a guy selling chops of meat. There's a lady here who's selling, looks like jewellery of some sort.
Don't think you can barter with me like I'm one of those damned shopkeepers.
Goodness, I forgot. I forgot how irritating it can be in town sometimes with Skyrim.
I used to be an adventurer.
Oh, be quiet, for goodness sake. I want to go back out in the wilds again and wander around there. Let's go in this shop here just to get a bit of peace and quiet. Maybe there's only one, at most two people talking to me at the same time. Never mind. Yeah, we've left the hairy heathen warming his belly by the fire in the Bannered Mare, by the way, because, I'm sure he'd like a walk around town, but I don't want to take him to the temple. And he deserves a rest anyway, the amount of work he puts in to keep keep poor old Stryko's body safe out in the wilds.
You look rather pale. Could be ataxia. It's quite a problem back home in Cyrodiil.
Really? I know I'm from Cyrodiil. I'm not aware of ataxia being a problem, but
Pardon me.
clearly you're
But
an
do I
apothecary.
detect a case of the rattles? I've got something for that.
Because you're desperate to sell me something, aren't you?
I have several elixirs for sale.
Do you ever think of returning back to Cyrodiil?
Why? Because I'm a proud citizen of the Empire? Because the Stormcloaks only want Nords in Skyrim? The Stormcloaks can rot in oblivion for all I care. I've lived in this city for 20 years. 20!
While I've only been passing through here, passing through Skyrim as part of my pilgrimage, I've probably only been here, I don't know, maybe a month or something, maybe probably less than that. I'm sure I've never really added it up, but I didn't actually mean that. I was just wondering if maybe you'd go back to your Cyrodiil. Oh, there you go. It's obviously a bit of a sore point with this lady. Maybe it's a bit hard living here after a while with the Nords being so grumpy, and I only want Nords living here, being as provincial as they are. So you're a healer?
Of a sort. I don't have formal training in the restoration school,
Oh.
but something just as good. Within these walls, I have all that I need to brew a potion for nearly any ailment. If I had a septum for every case of rock joint or whitbane I've cured since I opened this shop, I'd be a rich woman indeed.
Well, I guess so. I mean, you don't have to have skills in healing, but it'd be nice to have the magical skills maybe as well. I don't know. You seem very defensive,
Come back
Arcadia.
anytime if you need a remedy.
Everything I've asked you so far, you've been very defensive about. But there we go. Don't need any potions right now, thank you.
Cures for all ills, and
Let's
nobody
kind of
happens.
desperate to sell you things in Whiterun, aren't they? Let's head out and see what other shops there are before we hunt around trying to find this temple.
You know
There's
nothing. Nothing of our struggles, our suffering.
Who are you talking to? Not me? Okay, that's all right then. Okay. I was about to say we might head up that sort of impressive set of steps over there. Maybe the temple will be up that way in a minute. Or another merchant of some sort.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for.
Maybe. You seem a nice friendly chap.
Might have it stored away.
I mean, Stryko's shop back home in Cyrodiil, I imagine, was a bit less grand than this. It's pretty a fairly small affair. His silversmiths, but this is very nice. Hello there.
I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke.
Yeah, maybe you should work on the human there. I know humour works well with business, but yeah, okay. You're clearly a Breton. But what brings a Breton to Skyrim?
Isn't it obvious? Why, the wonderful weather and hospitable people, of course. Not to mention my great fondness for dragons and petty political power struggles. But without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this frozen wasteland is the volley of inane questions leveled at me on a regular basis.
Well, Bellathor, you're a real charmer, aren't you? I can see you're obviously doing very well in this place, selling with an attitude like that. How is business in general?
Interesting, to say the least. What with all that's been going on.
What, the Civil War?
On the one hand, supplies are harder to come by since fewer traders are traveling the roads these days. But on the other, the scarcity of supplies has led to some, well, elevated prices.
Really?
All that matters is that I have what you need, and it's worth every septum.
I'm not sure I want to buy what you've got, Bellathor. You're a bit of a, there's nothing wrong with making money. That's what merchants are in the business for, but there's ways and means of doing it. Well, there we go. What have you got for sale, sir?
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Oh, that's rather nice. Remember, I've changed out of Striker's changed out of his armour and everything else while he's wandering around town. But I mean, that's a very nice sword, but nothing better than the mace that we have. We could buy some more Orcish arrows. I can't remember how many arrows we have at the moment. They've proved quite useful so far. We've still got 25. That's okay for now. I'm not in a rush to buy anything from this chap unless we have to. What else have we got here? A ring of archery. That sounds quite nice. But what ring have we got on right now? A ring of minor stamina. That's probably more useful as we use a mixture of archery and hand-to-hand weapons as well. Potions of healing. Okay, got various bits and pieces. Well, despite all your blather, Mr. Bellathor, you don't have anything particularly exceptional here. I'll sell you a bear pelt. Happy to do that, and one of my saber-tooth cat pelts. Maybe a wolf pelt as well. Oh my god, I've got loads of books. Do I really need all this lot? They're not that heavy. We can deal with them later. I haven't had much chance to read them anyway. You'll be glad to hear. I'm sure you enjoyed my last reading of a book. We'll keep these ones, but there's nothing special here. Well, sorry, Bellathor. It was nice to meet you. Yeah, I'll see if I can find any more merchants around town. What a charmer.
Everything's for sale.
So, the market's nothing to shout about particularly. We passed a few shops on the way in. We could go and see those maybe, but let's go and find this temple if we can.
Come to chat with an old woman?
No, not particularly. Hello there.
Are you still working at the Bannered Mare? Yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak.
Do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Goodness, what a snob.
I'm sorry I asked.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls.
Well, they're all keen to chat, aren't they? Whether you want to talk to them or not.
I ain't done nothing.
Oh, what's this? This is rather impressive.
I'm the commander of the guard here in Whiterun.
Pleased to meet you, Commander Caius.
My boys will keep you safe. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you very much. I feel much safer with you. So many of you watching the walls, no matter how rickety they might look. What's with the big tree? Seems to be a rather dead tree.
I work with my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days.
Hello, young lady.
Hard work.
Well, when young kids run up to you and talk to you, that's a bit more expected. When every random...
Everything all right?
Yeah, having a monologue. When every random stranger that you pass talks to you, it's a bit more odd. It's definitely a dead tree, isn't it? I'm sure it's very symbolic of something. We have a gentleman over here shouting. And a shrine to Talos, it appears. So much for the white gold concordat around here. We have some sort of itinerant preacher over here.
Your children, your very lives.
Yes. Typical. You always get a few of these around in some of the cities, travelling around and shouting their wares.
Worse than nothing.
There's a
The Imperial machine enforces the will
Excuse me a second.
of Dalmor against its own people.
Blessings be upon me, Talos. Thank you very much.
So rise up, children of the Empire. Rise up, Stormcloaks. Embrace the word of mighty Talos.
Yeah.
He who is both man and divine.
Nothing wrong with praising the divines, but I'm not sure that, yeah.
We shall inherit both heavens and earth.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with the whole rhetoric going on here. Maybe, I'm not quite sure if you're praising being a Stormcloak and a member of the Empire, or you're inciting war, or what you're doing. I don't know. Hard to tell. I like my preaching a little quieter, a bit more civilized. Thank you very much. This looks a bit more promising over here, possibly. Goodness, how would you put up with that all day? You can't exactly arrest him, can you, guard? Well, a couple of candidates. What do we have here? Temple of Kinnereth. Excellent. And very beautiful it is too. I love the carving on the woods and the
Thank you.
and the windows.
Already easing.
Are you treating sick people as well? Very good. To my shame, I can't actually remember what the Kinnereth. Excuse me. What Kinnereth is the divine of? I'm sure Stryko knows, but we do a lot of healing in it. Ah, we have. Are you a Stormcloak or are you an Imperial soldier? It's hard to tell. We have wounded soldiers over here, though. Makes sense that they're being treated by the priests. That's rather lovely, isn't it? What about you, lady? What are you suffering from?
So great.
A sickly farmer. Okay. Haven't seen this in the other temples in Skyrim so far. Greetings.
Need something?
I was just hoping to talk to someone in the temple, actually. Let's try this lady over here in the... Well, first of all, let's go and accept our blessings from Kinnereth first. A peaceful place. With the water flowing and the light. It's very different from the temple of the Divines in Solitude. It was quite dark and there was light coming in, and it was beautiful in its own way, but very different from this. A much more open feeling in here. I presume this is one of the priestesses over here. Hello there.
Welcome, child.
Well, hardly a child. It's a bit of a strange way of referring to someone who's older than you, but there we go. You're a priestess of Kinnereth?
Indeed. The temple here in the city is my charge. The goddess's divine blessings have no doubt helped make Whiterun a thriving and prosperous city. After all, it is she who brings rain to our crops and fair weather on the harvest days.
Well, that answers that for me. It appears to be Kinnereth is more on the nature side of things. Nature and nurture. Tell me about the temple.
This is the Temple of Kinnereth. The Gildegreen outside was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kinnereth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days.
Well, you have one now. So that's the dead tree outside, I'm presuming, the Gildegreen. Why haven't the pilgrims been coming?
A big dead tree isn't very inspiring if you're coming to worship the divine of wind and rain.
I guess so.
Kinnereth gives life, and we need a living tree to be her symbol.
This is a quest coming on. Is there any way to revive the tree?
I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die. They only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Elder Gleam, you couldn't tap it. Not with any normal metal.
Okay. Where is the tree?
If you want to help, you'll need something to cut into it first.
Okay.
You'll have to deal with the hag ravens.
Oh.
I've heard about the weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane.
Thank you.
The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself.
Oh, this quest. I've been thinking about this one. I knew it was coming up, obviously, but I'm not sure Stryko has the right skill set to do this quest. I really don't. Having dealing with the hag ravens and then in case you've not done this, I won't say any more. But doing the whole, it's the two part to the quest. But I mean, Striker has been trying to do all the quests offered to him in the different temples. We've done them all so far, and none of them have been too bad particularly. The one for Namira was, well, I took that on. I shouldn't take on that quest. I took it on far too early, while Striker was too lower level, and it was a struggle to get through it. But the others haven't been too bad, and it does fit with what he's trying to do with his pilgrimage. I don't know. I mean, in role-playing games, if you play a campaign rather than individual missions, then what you find sometimes is you'll have stories leading up to the main quest, and you'll have, quests that give you more skill, and they maybe give you information you need for the main quest.
You seem distracted today.
And but everything is eventually leading up to one particular quest that you're going to try and do towards the end. And maybe this is the quest for Striker, but I honestly don't know if he'll be able to achieve it or not with the sort of equipment and skills he has. But I think we're going to try it. I'm going to try it, and I mean, I always thought that I'd play this all the way through to the end and Striker visiting all the temples and leaving. But maybe maybe it simply won't be possible. Maybe it's Striker's destiny to fall in this quest, and he simply won't be able to finish it, and that will be the end of this character. I don't know. I'm obviously not playing this Ironmand, but maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
You are terrible. You do know that, right?
I don't know. We'll take on the quest and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and we'll see from there. Who's this lady, by the way? Hello.
Are you married? You look the type. Make sure you treat your wife with the respect she deserves.
Nice. I am married actually, but my poor wife has been left back in Cyrodiil.
Welcome,
Danica, sorry, I was having an internal monologue there. Okay, we're going to have to go through this again.
This is the temple. Disciples
Yes.
of Kinnareth.
Yes.
Of course. Not as many pilgrims
Just
these days.
give me the quest.
Kinnareth gives life, and we need a
Sorry to
living
disrespectfully rush you through the.
I think if we had some, but even if you could get to the Elder Gleam is, you'll have to deal with the Hagraven.
Okay.
It's called Nettlebane. The
I'll get
Hagraven
Nettlebane
is
for you.
really strong. Kinnareth's winds will guide your path.
Well, I hope so.
It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
Oh goodness! Right, the blessings of nature. Right. Usually, when Striker visits a temple, he then spends the day. It's already like part of the way through the day. He spends the day in the temple, meditating and doing what he did as part of his pilgrimage. And we will do that, but we'll have a little bit more look around town first. We'll do any more, and we'll go on from there, maybe.
Be glad you're here in the city and not out in Riverwood. Those poor sods don't even have a wall.
I know, although you are talking about the main quest, which hasn't really happened because I haven't triggered it. There we go. I get the feeling. That's a rather nice carving. Look at that outside your house. It's amazing. That's someone's house, okay. House Greymane. I love these houses. What's over this way? There's the grumpy lady who obviously is not very happy with her husband.
I don't have any money.
Someone's being shaken down over here.
Right now, I'm gonna bloody your nose.
Nice.
10 septims tomorrow, baby Battleborn. What are you looking at?
No, please.
I'm not afraid
I really
of you,
don't have any
you know.
money.
Even if
Nice.
you
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
I'm sorry, Lars.
Until next time.
You'll have to deal with this little monster yourself. What a delight she is. What else have we got around here? With all the extra decoration, it's a bit harder to navigate around the city. This is nice. I'll take the area to sit out here under the fire, under the sun. It's not the weak, wintry sun, but it's the sun anyway. Clan Battleborn, okay. No, I'm not going to wander into someone's house. What else do we have over here? Are these graves? Pillars? Not sure. Have I looped back on myself? No, maybe not. Interesting stone structure over here. of the dead.